Well, my name is Amina Foukara. I'm going to give you again the details of what must be needed when you structure your first table for a database. This constitutes my second lesson within the framework of the workshop which was conducted and recommended by Université de Lille 1. Well, as I said before, you need to establish Microsoft Access 2007. I said you get this page. You close it by clicking on the cross, which is set below the major one on the right-hand side of this page, and then you will be left with the toolbar. As you see it here, it starts with affichage, that is view, with new field, and you will see at the top create, that is créer. So this toolbar is written in French language, but I shall explain this lesson using English language as a major medium of expression. So we will just keep the toolbar on the top, and then we will start structuring our first table for a database. When you finish, you will see it marked like here, table 1, on the left-hand side of your page, which is reserved for the creation of a database. Well, I said that there are 3 major parts that would appear on this page following the when you click on create and create a table on the toolbar, and you will get it. And we said that you have 3 columns. The first one, as you will see here, is it starts with ID adherent, and next to it is intégré. Well, this means that we've used Open Office here instead of 2007, but it's not too difficult just to know that intégré will replace auto-numerical. So automatically you will see here that there is a primary key which starts with ID, and the data type that corresponds to it is auto-numerical, which is intégré. This means that auto-numerical will grant just one value to each data that will be entered into your database, and that ID adherent is your primary key. So below ID adherent you have name of the person that works at the company of your interest. So this does not consider only one person, but all the people in general. But in your database, this will be seen in the table which will appear after this one as unique. You know, there's one name only for each person in the company. And how would you say it? It's that this name will appear on la feuille de données, that is the data page, as preceded by value number 1. And then the second name that will appear on your second page, we will see feuille de données. All right, it will start with 2, number 2, and so on. So for each name of a person working in that company, you will have one particular number, because this primary key will guarantee that there are no doubles in your database, and you will have a data type which corresponds to every one of these values that you have here. All right. So when you click on the second page, as we will see, you will see that you will have all these values written vertically, horizontally, rather than being written vertically. And for each, for example, for name, it will have more details about it, which means that each member working in that company will have particular identification, and this will be done thanks to the primary key and to the auto-numerical that you see already here marked with a key preceding it. So for the data type, we have a series of values that will appear once you click on the icon just placed next, that is in front of type type de champ, that is a field type. You will see, for example, text for characters, that is for numbers, and for letters, which make every one of these values adherent. For example, is made up of letters, so you have text preceding it. So for the details that you will have for each one of these values, you will have here, as it is shown on the propriety of the field properties, that is la liste des propriétés, which you will see here. It is situated at the bottom pane, just below the page, just below the table that that is situated here on the top. So on the top you have the three columns that start with primary key, and below, that is at the bottom pane here, you will have other fields like input mask that you see below, mask de saisie, and you will see default value below it, and you will see the format, an example of the format. You will see others next to these three, which are, for example, indexed in case you have any thing that could be arranged alphabetically. So up on the first column, when you have the primary key, you can mark name, varchar, as a type that corresponds to it. Varchar means text because telephone and name and they are just characters. But here, as you can see, in the same column you have date. So the type of data that corresponds to it is date. And the list of properties will help you to see that the input mask will be required. That is for the user to include information which is left for his discretion to add. And it means here that the telephone is made up of 10 characters, each a text. So its length is limited to 50, and that it is governed by primary key like any other value that you will see here. So it will be the same for the city, varchar. It means it's a text, and it's required, that is input mask will not be required because you have no, it's already done for the user. It's governed by primary key. So you will see in this field, which is propriety, in it you will have to add all the commands that you make for you to remember the data that you have entered and how you have entered them. And in case you send your data to somebody, to a user, a client, he will have to add things in the same way you have done them. So because information that you enter into your database needs to be standardized. So this column, which is propriety, the list of propriety, that is, it will remind everyone to stick to the rules, because these rules will help you to generate the right answer to your queries, that is, à vos requêtes, which we will see later. So we have seen up to now 3 columns that have been of help to us to create, that is, to structure our first table. And this table will need to be given a name. It will be marked on the margin, and later we will need it in order to make queries. And this is what you will need when you make a query. This will constitute another lesson that we will see later. But once you have finished with the column that is structuring your table, you will start enter the data into particular colors, and they will be featured out horizontally. So this is what we will see next time. We will see the details of entering data in what French people call la feuille de données, that is the data page, for which there is a column for every member in the organization. So later we will see how to establish